So now we're going to look more at adding some numbers, and we're just going to use rules rather than the number line. And I might just draw a number line in here just to remind you of how things work. So if we want to look at the rules, it's pretty simple. When you're adding two numbers with the same sign, you just keep the sign because they'll have the same one, and then you add the numbers together, or you add their magnitudes. And remember, magnitude means like the distance from zero, so the value. So this would have a magnitude of 6, this would have a magnitude of 7. Okay, so if we're looking at this example, they're both positive numbers, so our answer will be positive. So that's keep the sign, and then add the numbers or the magnitudes. 4 and 6 makes 10, so positive 4 plus positive 6 makes 10. And if you think of that on your number line, let's say you had, so we're starting at positive 4, and that's 3 there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is basically saying start at positive 4, and then what we were doing last time was skip count to 10. Okay, so positive 4 plus 6 equals 10, positive 10. Okay, now here both numbers are negative, so we're going to keep that negative sign, and then we add the numbers. 2 and 7 make 9. Okay, and if we were doing the number line and we had negative 2 there, negative 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this is basically saying start at negative 2 and then skip count by negative 7, which means go to the left by 7, which brings you to negative 9, which is our answer. Okay, down here we have two negative numbers again, so if they're both negative, then we keep that sign, negative, and then we just add the numbers or their magnitudes. So 400 and 200 makes 600, so negative 600. Again, down here, we have two negatives again, so our answer is going to be negative, and then we add these magnitudes together. So 5 plus 4.2 is 9.2, and our final answer is negative 9.2. So again, if we're dealing with fractions, then same rules apply. You have the same sign, so they're both positive, so our answer is going to be positive. And then we just add the magnitudes, so 1/5 plus 3/5. Now, it's been a while since you did fractions possibly, so you just have to remember when two fractions have the same bottom, you just keep the bottom, so our bottom will be 5, and then you add the tops, so 1 plus 3 equals 4. So our answer is positive 1/5 plus positive 3/5 equals positive 4/5. Okay. Here we have two negative numbers, so then our answer will be negative, and luckily the bottoms are the same, so our bottom will be 6, or our denominator will be 6, and then we're going to add the tops because they have the same sign, so we're going to put the magnitudes together, so 3 and 1 makes 4. So again, we kept the sign, and then we're going to add the magnitudes together. So if we were doing that down here, 1/6, the magnitude of negative 1/6 is 1/6, and the magnitude of negative 3/6 is 3/6. So that gives us, we keep the bottoms from our fraction rules, and then we add the tops, which gives us 4, but because our answer, both of those were negative, then our final answer is negative. So when we're adding two numbers with different signs, this is a little bit trickier. What you do is you keep the sign of the number with the bigger magnitude. So if you're just looking straight up numbers, what's the bigger number in plain English? So 4 is bigger than 7, so we're going to keep the sign of the 7. So that's 7 is positive, so we're going to have a positive answer. And then what you do is that's figuring out your sign, and then you actually have to subtract. You take the bigger number or the bigger magnitude and subtract the smaller magnitude. So 7 is bigger than 4, so 7 minus 4 gives us 3. Okay? Again, here we have positive and negative, so they're different signs. So which number has a bigger magnitude? Well, 9 is a bigger number than 3 is, so we have negative as our answer because 9 has negative on its sign, and then we subtract the big one minus the big magnitude minus the small magnitude. So 9 minus 3 gives us 6. Okay? Here we've got negative and positive. Well, 70 is a bigger magnitude and 70 is negative, so our answer is negative. And then we subtract the magnitude 70 minus 50 gives us 20. Okay? And our final answer is negative 20. Here we've got positive and negative. 4.8 has a bigger magnitude, and 4.8 is positive, so our answer is positive. And then 4.8, we subtract the magnitudes. 4.8 minus 1.2 gives us 3.6. Now again, with fractions, the hard part is probably just remembering your fraction rules, but basically we're looking here, and remembering fraction sizes could be a bit tricky. Shouldn't be tricky, but you may forget how we did it. So we have two different signs, positive and negative. 5/8, if you think of that, that's a little bit more than half of the cake, and 2/8 is almost empty. So 5/8 has a bigger magnitude, and 5/8 is positive, so our answer is going to be positive. And then when we do our, now we have to subtract 5/8 minus 2/8. So 5/8 minus 2/8, well, they have the same bottom already, so that stays the same, and then 5 minus 2 is 3. So our final answer is positive 3/8. Okay? On this one, again, positive and negative, so which one has the bigger magnitude? Well, 7/9 is almost full. 7 out of 9 pieces are shaded in, whereas this one's close to half, so this one has a bigger magnitude, and this one is negative, so our answer will be negative. And then we have to subtract the magnitudes, so 7/9 minus 4/9, okay, they already have the same bottom, so our bottom will be 9, and then 7 minus 4 is 3, so negative 3/9. And then if we're reducing to simplest form, okay, we can divide both of those by 3, and that gives us negative. Don't forget your negative sign whenever you simplify. Once an answer is negative, it stays negative. So the 3/9, 3 divided by 3, that gives us 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So our final answer is negative 1/3. Okay, so again, the key is when they have the same sign, you just keep the sign and then put the magnitudes together, add them. When they have different signs, you figure out which one has the bigger magnitude, you keep that sign, and then you subtract the magnitudes to get your answer. If you have any questions with this, see your instructor.